The new Natural Resources Headquarters building is the project by which I will measure all other projects. It is the most successful project I've been a part of. It is the best team I've been a part of. It will always be the benchmark for success that I don't know if any other project could obtain.
Working with DGS and Turner was a joy. I suspect every member on the team would say that. DGS, right from the start, totally embraced the design and became partners to get everything that we had designed during the competition phase into the project. The Natural Resources Agency's mission is to restore, protect, and manage our natural resources. So from the very start, we wanted the building to be about nature. And so we looked to nature for inspiration. For example, the shape of the building, the fundamental form of the building, and the way it meets the skyline is inspired by the rock formations that you see around California. The rammed earth is inspired and informed by sedimentary rock patterns that you see across the state.
The idea here, A.C. Martin's architectural vision for the project, the overall concept for the architectural design on the exterior is nature unfolded. And so if you look at kind of the base of the building, level 1, the retail buildings behind me, the auditorium, they all have this rammed earth facade that represents really nature in its true form. Right, the earth, the soil strata that we see in the mountains and the foothills around the area. And then as you go up the tower, some of the colors that are represented through the curtain wall represent a little bit more abstract version of nature as it unfolds. And so the different colors in the curtain wall represent some of the same soil strata that you see here in more natural form. And then the tower itself is representative of the bark of the redwood tree. And so this whole process as you go from ground up the tower represents this nature unfolded concept.
Well, it's pretty amazing that the schematic conceptual drawings we did really held throughout design, and we just filled in all the details. And if you look at the rendering of this ceiling, it pretty much looks like that rendering that was done with no idea how we were going to build it. And there was a lot of fine-tuning and details, but the building as you see it was pretty much as we turned it in for the competition.
What I really love about the fact that we've created this addition to the skyline of Sacramento is that it's become a beacon and a source of pride for the people who are moving into it. That when they look at this building, it's not just any other state office building. When the folks from the Natural Resources Agency move in, they know it's a building for them, because of all the unique elements that were incorporated into the exterior design or throughout the design. When you talk about the fissure, the fins, the ceramic fritted glass, they're all references to natural resources. And these are the types of things the folks who are moving into the building care about. That's what they research, and that's what they're passionate about.
Well, we're really excited with the new headquarters building. We think it is really emblematic of California's future. What's been remarkable is we've toured the building as it's come together. It's very clear that the builder, the designer, and the client, in this case the Department of General Services, have a strong, deeply integrated collaborative relationship. Just across the street from our project site here at the building, these public and private partners are working together every day. One of our colleagues from one of the private companies said that he's never worked on a project with less email back and forth, because problem solving occurs in real time. And I think that's the promise of design-build, this more collaborative, focused approach that allows all of the different experts that are contributing to this building to work together.
Back in 2019, Turner committed to reducing our job site carbon emissions and water consumption by 50% by the year 2030. NNRH is actually one of our first programs that helped start metering our current consumption habits to establish the baseline from which we're going to reduce our carbon emissions. For Turner, it's really important to establish this goal because we wanted to ask ourselves, what can we do outside of the spec books to make sure that we're building our buildings as green as possible?
We worked hand in hand with the trade partners on designing the MEP systems and the sustainability strategies to provide the most cost-effective, energy-efficient building possible.
One of the things that we did for water consumption was we used a closed-loop wheel washing station, which resulted in lower water use during construction.
The project goals initially from the state of California, which are to achieve LEED Gold certification and an EUI, an energy intensity unit, of 30 or less. And we surpassed that. We are a LEED Platinum Zero project, one of the first in the state of California. And we're on track to hit an EUI, an energy utilization index of 28.3, which is a remarkably energy efficient project.
Sustainable design is pursuing the health and well-being of building occupants. And it also promotes renewable materials. For example, we are using salvaged wood from the Paradise Fire right here at the main lobby. And in this building, there are numerous of outdoor spaces for common use. For instance, the terraces on several floors. We have a food court, we have a bike storage, a wellness center. So it really encourages the staff to use a healthy mode of transportation as well as exercise and enjoy the outdoors on their break.
This project has been really important for Northern California as a whole because it's one of our most sustainable buildings to date.
It's important to have DVB and SB goals on this type of project because without those goals, it's a lot of extra effort that different contractors need to put in to have that participation on the job. And without setting those goals in place, it might not incentivize some companies to do this work. Now, Turner Construction is very involved in the Sacramento area and has repeatedly stressed the importance of having small, local DVBs on our projects and incorporated into the community workforce.
It's important to DGS to support these groups because we're building these projects for the people of California, and we want the people of California to have the opportunity to work on these projects, to bid on these projects, and to participate in these projects. DGS also understands that these programs help grow these small and new contractors into the larger contractors of tomorrow.
Our scope of work was to provide these rammed earth panels that you see behind us. This was a kind of a one-off project at the start, and it seems like a new business model has erupted out of this opportunity. So this project is several orders of magnitude away from our typical rammed earth panel project. We've handled a lot of residential projects that, maybe were 1,000 to 1,200 square feet and maybe 15 panels or so. For this project, it was a little overwhelming at first, but we got a lot of support from Turner, and the engineers came together to make this project a reality.
Onboarding our trade partners and our design consultants early allowed us all to get at the table during the pursuit phase and allow everybody to get on the same page, develop that strategy to be able to execute the project. So somebody like Seeger Construction and coming up with our modular daycare concept was extremely important and a differentiator in the overall competition.
So we've got 3 different projects that we're working on here. We're doing a build out at the first floor of the main building for the new food services area. We're doing a new modular classroom set up for preschool. And then we did a historic restoration on the Heilbrunn Mansion. For us, this has been a great experience, both from a learning experience and from a development experience. On the construction side, having those resources available at any time so we could go back and forth and make sure that the construction process goes as smoothly as possible has been critical. And as a result, I would say we've had a very successful project overall.
The PLA really was important for this project. What it did is it allowed us to partner with the trade unions to get underserved communities into the workforce. The construction trades, we need new people in there, we need apprentices, and this really was an important part to get both new apprentices into the unions, but to serve and get new workers out of underserved communities to become part of the industry.
I
I needed a new start. I found out about apprenticeships when I was in drug rehab. And I wanted a career, I wanted it to be long lasting, I wanted to be part of a union. I wanted consistent work. I was told about a pre-apprenticeship program for women specifically, and so I decided to join the trades. I chose sheet metal because I have a background in math, specifically geometry. And so I went through a pre-apprenticeship program, and the leader of the Sheet Metal Workers Union came out and picked me to represent the union, and I was indentured by the sheet metal school, and I immediately got work here at this job site.
I got out of prison 2 years ago, and it was 6/30/2019, and I was working 3 jobs, homeless, busting my ass, and opportunity came where I impressed a foreman over there, where he told me, he was like, hey, you got everything here, but they're gonna break your back, go union. I like being appreciated, and that the opportunity has been given to me, and it has allowed me to prove myself worthy of the opportunity. Being in my position on parole and not having a lot of experience, a lot of people would not give an individual in my situation an opportunity. Every day I come here, I'm thankful, I'm grateful.
I'm inspired by my team. My team is fairly younger than I am. Most of them on this team have been with me for 4 years. I'm down to just 4 guys and myself. Couldn't ask for a better crew. From everyone that's been out here, from day one to almost this end date here by looking the end of next week, it's just been a phenomenal effort on behalf of Concrete North to get this far. Schedule, durations, shutdowns, COVID. COVID made it very difficult. Job site rules changed. Cal OSHA standards changed. Trying to work around something. We never would have thought or anticipated when we started this project in November 2018 that there would have been an outbreak, a pandemic, or something that we would still have to maintain a schedule, push forward, and find a way to solve it, meet the deadline. And we're all trade partners are right there. They've all worked, complied, worked diligently about going about this with PPE, social distancing, and having everything in order, cleaning, inspections, etc., to make this thing keep going.
This pandemic has made and imposed an undue challenge on all of us. And I think from the trade standpoint, it's imposed the greatest challenge. It's tough to build and construct, satisfying all the needs and requirements, and to remain safe. The workforce has remained resilient, and that's an excellent testament to the quality of personnel that we have on this project. Your efforts do not go unnoticed. And on behalf of the Natural Resources Agency and the Department of General Services, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for making this project not only a successful project in the Sacramento region, but what I believe is a world-class project.
I think this project differs from others in that how the entire team worked together in a very transparent manner.
So this big room that we all are living in for the past 3 years is really an essential tool to making this project successful. All of our major project decision makers are under this one roof. And we had a saying here that if you could talk, don't call, and if you could call, don't email. And so we really, when a problem did creep up, or a challenge did arise, we were able to pull all the decision makers together to focus on that problem and just crush it. And that's really critical to keeping a large project with millions of decisions that get made, to keep those decisions made in a timely manner and keep the project rolling.
Well, the big room has been an extremely exciting part of this process. It's one of several recent big room experiences I've been involved in, and I can say that this big room has been all that it was intended to be. Very intense collaboration, a lot of fun, and communication has just truly been expedited. It's been a wonderful big room experience.
I mean, one of the best things about the big room is the ability to demonstrate mock-ups of what the finished product is going to look like. In the big room, we developed working spaces and cubicles, conference rooms, AV mock-ups, glass office fronts, and we were able to put in place an actual real-life version of what the building would look like. We were able to work through furniture selections, work through architectural finishes, and we were able to work in that environment for years before we actually put our first work in place.
The big room experience for the new Natural Resource Headquarters project was a huge success in my opinion. Doing a big room, being literally there all the time with the client, with DGS, with Turner, all the trades, and sometimes a bunch of the design consultants was an amazing experience. Meaning we could hit head-on major issues of the project and resolve them in real time.
The NNRH big room was different from others in that the team and the people make the difference. We have great people on this project. We could relate to each other as imperfect humans and work through issues together. There were no hidden agendas. It was just meeting a milestone, solving problems, good relations, and teamwork.
I think good communication and transparency are always an important piece of doing anything we do. In construction, it's super important to make sure that field staff, superintendent, trade staff, and us working as a whole to achieve the ultimate outcome for this building, including hazard identification. I think the training piece, the training aspect, and us being involved in the daily huddles in the morning time improved both our understanding of what the trades were responsible for on the job site and how they did their work, and then how we and what our expectations were for the project.
Well, the synergy on this project's been, incredible. I would call it very high-end. I think from day one, at the very first kickoff meetings, through our formal partnering, you have a project every so often that it just seems to come together, and that the teams are spectacular, and that's definitely been the case here.
Working on this project has been a point of pride and optimism. There's so many challenges that we face in our world and in our nation and in our state. For example, our agency is really on the forefront of tackling climate change. And so that can seem fairly overwhelming. But when a project like this comes together, where you have a vision that actually gets realized, that's going to help us do our job tackling those challenges more effectively, it's just been a real point of personal pride.
All right, what has this project meant to me? I would definitely have to say growth, not just personally, like individually, but as a team and as a whole. I've learned quite a bit from this job. I've been fortunate to be here from the beginning and then all the way to the end, and the team here is amazing, and it's all the company lines are blurred, and we all go out of our way to help one another and help strive to always do better. And it doesn't matter what our company is or what our title is, we're always there for one another. So definitely growth.
For me, it's all about the people. I love this team. I love the subcontractors, the trade partners that we get to work with, their owner group. It's just been really a fun team to work with.
This is my first design-build project, so to me it's a learning experience. So for me, overall, just learning for the rest of my career.
It's meant a lot. It's been the largest project I've worked on in my career up to this point in time. Working with this group of people, this group of professionals, I just haven't had the experience that I have here. It's just been a great group of people with a common goal, and it's just been a pleasure.
Seeing a project of this size come to life is really a remarkable thing. I see drawings on a computer screen and then they become a building. Knowing I'm an integral part of that process is really what makes me happy. And I know I was part of the success of this project.
I think this is one of the first projects that the State Fire Marshal's Office and DGS and Department of Finance feel like everybody really blended well together, and were able to accomplish it on time.
Work on this project has meant, to me personally, working with a great team, a great architect we've done a lot of projects with, an owner we've done multiple projects with as well, a great owner, and just bringing everything together. 2020 was a tough year, and bringing it all together to the home stretch has been a huge accomplishment.
For me personally, it's meant friendships with people that I can't say enough about. I value them in the industry more than any others I've really worked with. It's also a way of giving back. I mentioned I have kids that went through a daycare facility for 8 years, and to give back to teachers and parents and kids, being able to utilize a facility I think they'll really enjoy is really rewarding. And I think it's been a wonderful example of leadership at all levels that I can take away and use on other projects that I haven't experienced previously.
I take pride in the fact that this project's going to have an impact on the skyline of downtown Sacramento for years to come.
I take pride in helping as many coworkers and subcontractors and people out as I can in a day. That's the thing I like to do the most.
The workday, I think just like most people here, I love doing a good job.
Knowing that I've given it everything I've got, the very best I've got to offer, and that I'm able to take care of my family and those that mean the world to me.
Looking at this building going up slowly from start a few years ago, and end of the day, you know, you see all the hardworking contractor leaving this site, and then I'm also part of. It is really means something.
What I remember from this project when it's all completed are the friendships that I developed along the way. A lot of times when you work on projects, you develop friendships and relationships, but a lot of times the friendships never last. I will carry out for the rest of my life fantastic friendships that I've developed on this project.
When I walk to my car, I walk by the building, and there's not a day that goes by that I don't look up, and it just, you know, filled with pride on what all the hard work of all the people on this job have accomplished.
How am I going to celebrate when this is all over? I think I'm gonna sleep. just rest. Maybe I might sleep for 3 straight days.
I'm gonna celebrate when this is all over by taking off my mask, having a beer, and sharing stories with some lifelong friends.
Big old bottle of champagne. I'm gonna grab my guitar and prop my feet up and take a look at the images from the life of this job and just reflect.
I'll probably have a beer or 3.
We're gonna have a big dinner together. Looking forward to it with everyone.
Go home, hug kids and wife.
With a huge party.
Vacation.
Actually, I want to bring my kids down and show them what I work on, what I accomplished.
I don't know, probably just spend time with my family.
Cold beer.
Taking something in one of the indoor bathrooms.
Give someone a high five, but honestly, I'm gonna go home and drink a beer.
Eat well. Eat well, party with my family. Go have some beers with the boys. My group, Redwood Electric.
Maybe I'll go to Maui for a couple of weeks, and maybe Turner will give me an extra couple of weeks vacation or something. That'll be good. You hear that, Peter? Davern?
I'm gonna celebrate when we get the next job because of the good job that we did on this one.
Go out and enjoy a nice dinner with our families, because ultimately they sacrifice a lot too when we're at work 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day, right now 7 days a week. So yeah, it's a nice dinner and maybe a little retreat with the families. Yeah.
I'm taking a vacation, a long one.
Boy, we're going to celebrate when this project is done, just like we built the project, all together, from the frontline workers all the way to our design partners, DGS, and inspectors. We're going to party together.